Hello, friends and history enthusiasts. Today we're embarking on a fascinating journey through the skies to explore the world of flight attendants, those who once embodied glamour and sparked controversy, and today symbolize professionalism and safety. We'll trace their path from the golden age of aviation to modern challenges, examine unique photographs, and uncover unexpected facts. Get ready to see how the role of cabin crew, their uniforms, and even societal attitudes towards them have changed. This is going to be captivating. Let's begin our dive into the past with the late 60s and early 70s, a time of vibrant colors and bold fashion choices. Here we see a Pacific Southwest Airlines employee in a miniskirt and go-go boots, a true icon of the era. And another shot of Pacific Southwest Airlines flight attendants around the 1970s, showcasing their casual style and bright smiles. These images became the signature look of PSA, known for its lighthearted and fun approach to flying. But before they took to the skies, flight attendants underwent rigorous training. Take a look at this unique photograph from 1961, a group of young French and German women discussing posture during a class at Trans World Airlines Stewardess School in Kansas City. Discipline and elegance were paramount. And this is 1958, flight attendants in training at the College for New American Airlines cabin crew in Texas. At the time, this was one of the most prestigious and desired professions for young women. Being a flight attendant offered not only prestige, but also incredible travel opportunities. A trio of Scandinavian Airlines System SAS flight attendants visits New York in 1958, exploring the sights between flights. Imagine how much they got to see. However, the life of a flight attendant wasn't all glamour. Their duties began long before the flight. Here's a 1951 shot illustrating a flight attendant's pre-flight duties at United Airlines. Every detail had to be perfect. In the 70s, airlines actively used the image of the flight attendant in their advertising campaigns, often sparking controversy. In this frame, National Airlines flight attendant Cheryl Fioravante, the star of the infamous Fly Me advertising campaign from 1971 in Miami. The National Organization for Women, now at the time, attempted to halt the campaign, declaring it vulgar. Here's another example of an advertising campaign. A portrait of an American Airlines flight attendant posing in uniform on a plane in 1967. Were this Pacific Southwest Airlines advertisement from the 1970s, vividly demonstrating how the image of the flight attendant was used to attract passengers. Flight attendants were always the face of the airline, and their uniforms reflected the fashion and values of their era. Take a look at a United Airlines flight attendant in a coat circa 1940s, a strict and elegant style of that period. And a stark contrast. In 1972, Southwest Airlines of Texas flight attendants wore shorts and leather boots. The airline's motto then was "Sex sells seats," and the drinks served on board had suggestive names like Passionate Punch and Love Potion. PSA flight attendants around the 1970s also highlight this trend towards a bolder and more playful style. It's important to note that this period also marked the beginning of changes in racial diversity. Ruth Carroll Taylor became the first African-American flight attendant in 1958 after filing a complaint against Trans World Airlines for racial discrimination. She was ultimately hired by regional airline Mohawk Airlines, paving the way for many others. This was a significant step towards a more inclusive industry. Beginning in the late 1960s, flight attendants became leaders of the nascent feminist movement. They fought for their rights and against discrimination. In this photograph, flight attendants line up in front of an aircraft, demonstrating their strength and unity. It's also interesting to look at the evolution of uniforms. Here are photographs of some uniforms worn by National Airways Corporation, NAC, flight attendants between 1959 and 1975. Each uniform is a reflection not only of fashion, but also of the development of aviation. NAC later merged with Air New Zealand. Working conditions in the past were far from modern standards. Back then, stewardesses started working at 18 or 20 even before college or marriage. Job advertisements for flight attendants during that period often stated that they were looking for girls who smile and speak sincerely. Flight attendants had to undergo regular weigh-ins and could be fired if their weight exceeded the airline's expectation by 2 pounds. They were also dismissed on the spot if they married or became pregnant, and were forced to retire before they reached the age of 32. Unfortunately, the perception of flight attendants as sex symbols, which originated in the 1930s, also had its downsides. Many flight attendants recalled that unwanted touching from male passengers was sadly part of their job. Long legs and an attractive appearance were mandatory. To become a flight attendant, one had to be a young, pretty, slim, and unmarried woman. It wasn't until the 1970s, largely thanks to the fight by the flight attendants themselves, that airlines began to change their attitudes towards cabin crew. This is evident in the more professional and functional attire they wear today. This is a story of how flight attendants transformed from sex symbols into highly skilled professionals, ensuring our safety and comfort in the sky.